You think that's phone will come in. You can see.
Change the agenda and your resolution. Yeah, just a moment.
Ready? You'll get feedback. Yes.
One.
You need to get quite that close to that.
Right now.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Call it April 14, 2026, city council meeting to order. Remind everybody to silence your cell phones. It's ours, gonna lead us in opening prayer, followed by the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you give us, Lord. I want to pray for everyone who's sick or hurting, Lord. I want to pray that you will help them to make the right decisions as a city. Lord, I want to pray that you will glorify us, Lord, and that we glorify you too, Lord. I want to pray for the people that don't know you, that you lead them down the right path to know you, lead us Christians to help to find them, Lord. I want to pray that you will help these people as they make the decisions, Lord, and help us as a city to grow and become one in you, Lord. In your name I pray, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Bryant.
Here.
Councilman Hampton.
Here.
Councilman Woodfall.
Here.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Here.
Mayor Kinsler.
Here. Approval of items on the consent agenda, approval to read by title only, resolution 2026-15.
Councilman Bryant.
Yes.
Councilman Hampton.
Yes.
Councilman Woodfall.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Kinsler.
Yes. Do anyone who wants to speak on anything that is not on the agenda? Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Tanya Benziger. I brought just a few gas and company crew. I think since we saw you guys last, we were just here because we wanted to let you know that we are officially under contract for a piece of property here in the city of Perry. It's at 803 Veterans Drive. We are planning to have a benefit show for, it's called Punchlines for Property Lines. And we're trying to raise money to purchase that piece of property. We are acting through the steps to make that property our own. It is zoned in an SFR1. It is right next to the middle school. But we were super excited after speaking to the ladies in the office that we do qualify for a zoning exception as a nonprofit organization. So we're currently going through the steps to make sure you have all of the paperwork that you need. And we're having, actually right now, we're generating a site map for that property in the hopes that we can get our packet together and come to you as an approval for a zoning exception on that property. With your approval and our fundraising effort, this is what we have in mind, and we wanted to invite you all to our benefit night show. Ladies and gentlemen, would you give them a ticket to our? We are having a benefit fundraiser. It's called Punchlines for Property Lines. It'll be Saturday night, May the 9th, out at the Forest Capitol Hall. We're gonna have food. These kids are gonna perform skits and some drama skits. It's a night of just food, community, and comedy. We're gonna have live auctions that are going on there. And our most excited part of the night, we're most excited for, is a musical finale. We partnered with an orchestra pit that will be made up of middle school musicians. Miss Jessica Udell partnered up with us, got her middle school band, had them audition. We have a 16-member musician orchestra pit that is gonna do our musical finale. They're gonna play our music and our actors are gonna sing and dance. We're excited about that most of all because if this property, and Lord willing, it suits us and we get your approval, that's where we want to build our home for our future performing arts center. We want a stage, we want an auditorium, we want to partner with the middle school so that with their band, they can learn orchestra. We're able to teach wood shop that builds our sets. It'll be much more that goes, much more beyond fine arts, but fine arts is obviously what our passion is. So that's all we want to do. We want to come here and invite you guys for Saturday night. With that ticket, there's a QR code on there. For those of you who aren't familiar, this is the way I have to talk to my dad, who just got a smartphone this year. When you put your camera on that QR code, it takes you, you can click on it, it takes you to the website where you buy tickets. As you enter in the tickets, if it's just yours, or if you want to come with a spouse, partner, or friend, you type in however many tickets you want, and at checkout, you type in that promo code that says official, because you are official in our eyes. And that gives you your free ticket. If you don't want to do all that online, you can show up at the door with that ticket and they will let you in there, and anyone else with you. We are accepting cash at the door. But we hope you come out on Saturday, May the 9th. We're going to try to show the community a little bit of everything we do here at Caston Company and how much a property and building of our own would benefit and serve this youth and our community. So thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak from the general public who is not on the agenda? Hearing and seeing no one will move on with bids, not RFQs. Any bids, RFQs that are to be open in the council meeting and public forum will be done for this time.
We have 8 grant administration ones, and we only have 1 engineering bid, so the engineering we can't open because there was only 1, so we have to redo it. I'll start opening up grant administration. So currently I'm opening RFP for CDBG, DR grant administration. I will only be reading the vendors who submitted proposals. There will be no discussion at this time about any proposal that is being opened. These proposals will be given back to the city manager and then to the committee who is evaluating the sealed RFPs. The city reserves the right to reject any and all proposals. The city reserves the right to select the vendor, waive any informalities, or to accept the proposal deemed in the best interest of the city. Any errors in proposal submissions are the responsibility of the vendor. This is DSR Consulting and Management.
One more time, Carl.
Pam,
Today.
DSR Consulting and Management. Outsourced Execs LLC. Eco Strata Services Incorporated. Ovid Solutions. That one. Elos and Aventia Company. With O'Brien. Consult Optimum LLC doing business as home consulting. The Balmoral Group.
Only what was the last one?
The Balmoral Group.
Grant engineer administration for the.
Bay Media Services LLC.
One more time, Paul?
Bay Media Services.
Mrs. Ryan, you said, it's.
John, could you reiterate, Ms. Landry need to understand what this is for?
That's the 24.5, 25 million, the three CDBG disaster recovery grants. You have to have a grant admin for the three grants.
Yes. Okay. And this is the group that Mr. Bryant would be sitting on.
Now, we're using, CERCAP, same one that did it last time for us. They're gonna be here tomorrow to rank all the proposals. And we'll present that back.
And then you,
Hello,
Yes, sir.
all right, Jim, now, sorry. So this fine. Agenda item 6A, resolution 2026-15, opposing the North Florida Aquifer Recharge Project. Resolution of the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council opposing the Water First Aquifer Recharge Project. Recommending the implementation of the alternative water desalination project. So which one is this one? Is this the one that, this is Duval County?
The Duval County pipeline. Okay. If I read it right, somewhere in the Swanee Basin, look like around Edgeman, Kentucky. Like 40 million gallons per day of treated wastewater. They're trying to sell it to us as an aquifer recharge project.
Should just be piping it directly in the ground somewhere, just with aquifer.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It tells you which counties.
But the regional planning center asked all of the ones in its group, all the counties and municipalities within its group to join them in opposing it.
Right.
Yeah, but if it goes into the aquifer, it's gonna kick off more counties than that.
True.
Most of the water routes.
Need a motion?
Yes, ma'am, I'll take a motion.
Thank you.
Do us, something, Ms. Landry.
Councilor Bryan,
Yeah.
Councilor Hanson,
Yes.
Councilor Woodball,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Agenda item 6B, council to discuss a 5-year capital program, council will take any action deemed necessary.
It's in a rough state right now, but I have to present it. I pulled the charter by April 15th. So this is the first cut at it. It'll be on there several meetings. Can we approve it in August. August,
I know right now that this is just a rough draft. But I see right here where with the Jerkin splash pad, they're saying repairs.
that wasn't the FERDAP grant.
Not sure if you don't have it listed as what is granted.
Yeah, it's all under Jerkin Park revitalization. All those projects then below that are kind of dented to the side. That's what we asked for that grant.
Okay, but I do, if we do not, hopefully that we do get the grant. That's good, but if we don't, I would think that it was time now for, Jerkins pad to be redone all the way. That's the building, everything, because it's outdated and the plumbing is awful. So instead of us redoing something, it would make more sense for us to just redo the whole entire thing and not have to come back later on and play catch up. So if we don't get the grant, that would be one of the things that I would make a motion on.
I think we'll know within the next 6 to 8 weeks
Okay,
if that one's approved or not.
because none of the equipment out there is up to par. It doesn't work like it should.
That was the number 6 project in the whole state. So if
Okay,
they approve some for that funding, both of our projects will definitely make a cut.
okay, well, just make sure you keep us up on it. And the other one was, I know you said that we had the money for the lift station on Warner Ave and Thomas. Okay, did we ever find out, did we ever get to the bottom of the smell?
Yeah, I think it ran out of the essential oils. They got that odorizer thing in there. Has to be filled with essential oils every now and then.
Did we ever get to the bottom of why we're having to deal with that?
Sean always says it has to do with what super puffs putting in there.
Ooh, okay. This is the thing. That area has been putting up with that smell for years. It is time now for us to step up and do something about it.
That odorizer they put in there did help. I know, but if it runs out of the oils, then it goes back to what it was.
Yeah, on my way coming here, I smell it.
That's the engineering plans for the
Okay.
new one that we're doing.
With the engineer plan, can we have them to look in to see why we're having this problem? We're saying it's coming from other places, but we need to find out, because we don't have this problem in any other area. So we need to find out why we're having to suffer with that.
Yeah, it's in here. This, I don't know what all this means, but this is the odor control plan.
Okay.
It's in there for the new design.
Because I don't want us to get to the point, John, where we end up redoing everything over there and we still have that smell we have to put up with. And then we gotta go back and redo everything all over again. So while we have the money, we need to do it right. Not just keep guessing and thinking this is what it is. We need an engineer to let us know, this is where the problem is coming from.
I'll double make sure they know that it needs to be addressed with this one.
Okay,
But that's it right there. Whatever this thing is right here is your odor control plan.
yeah, because like I said, we don't have that problem anywhere, so if we have to have a reason why we're having to put up with that smell. Thank you.
Any other comments or concerns, Rick? Yes, sir.
Which one, babe?
The sewer. Like you said, you done Southwood. And
Which page?
I'm looking,
Okay.
I'm probably need help from you all. Let's see. Sure. Okay, here it is on page 4. At the bottom of phase 1 selections. I said. We're going to a great quick one. Southwood 1 and South. That's fine. But as I told you, the people at Van Order plus on Clark Street in that neighborhood, they've been big of the sewer system for the longest. Also, open. What do you call it?
The Mexico, Upper 19, that area, the El Rancho, yeah. They've been asking for it for the longest.
I never did come.
And a lot of those homes over there have sewage problems.
I think it's called El Rancho subdivision.
Yeah, I don't know the actual name, but I think it's not like,
Figure it
If you look into that, and one other thing. I guess I was absent. When you all talked about flock games. Didn't we have a meeting on that?
Flock
Flock cameras, yeah.
So, Chief and John, I believe, were discussing this, but these cameras that are up now are part of a trial.
I don't know much
And
about
I'll be honest, I'm not even real sure what agencies it's part of a trial, because, you know, you have FDLE, FHP. We have, I think we talked about cameras in the parks, but that was the only flock cameras we discussed is actually in the park, so.
So, if we didn't put these cameras up.
No, the company did through the trial process of whatever an agency asked.
but no cost at the city.
No, to my knowledge, it's not cost anything.
But we should know better. I mean, those cameras are very controversial.
we can ask Jamie to do it back. He had to go to town for something. I don't know anything about it.
They must do. Put that
Yeah,
on
we
the
can
agenda.
definitely follow up with him because he's been more a part of those discussions and talk, but
And the council should know about this. And especially if you're already going up in the city.
I will let him know. I talked to him.
John, I think you should agenda that.
Yep, I got a note to it.
Then put. Thank you.
Any discussion on the budget right now, or the capital improvements? All right, agenda item 6C, council to discuss prospect area department and standard package. Council will take any action deemed necessary. What's actually going on with this?
Yeah, I tried to summarize the history of it best I could, but I think this was originally built by Bob Brown and passed as a resolution, and it included a loan in there, some natural gas infrastructure, and the rebate back on property taxes paid. I don't know why Taylor Brown did it. I don't know if it's COVID or he was worried about the finances of the city, but I was here, so I don't know what his reason was.
You mean it because something went wrong. So they start all over. And project was that big. And that's what you run. Yeah.
Yeah, something expired or they were supposed to put natural gas,
And they-
however, they did not do
And they
any,
didn't do it.
didn't do any natural gas. That was part of the incentive package, best I remember,
Yes. It's,
but that was before my time.
yeah. You're right.
We had it redone by resolution. But that resolution says the incentive doesn't start till the, like, 344 unit.
Oh, yeah, they're all dead.
They came, they got with Bob Brown again and came back to me and asked if we would consider starting the payback of the property taxes, no, I can't call that, the incentive of the property taxes starting this coming tax November.
The apartment complex. Well, what do they have to say about opting out when they were supposed to get natural gas and they didn't do that?
I think it was an incentive if you did put natural gas in there. I didn't read it as you must put natural gas. But if you do put natural gas, this is the incentive you would get. Because the incentive is based on what they pay for gas. So I mean, if they don't pay zero for gas, the incentive zero,
So they're asking for 15 years.
they would like 15. But
They're asking for 15 years in there. And
Sure.
if I'm,
Sure.
and that the completion of the project was supposed to be 344 units before they got anything back that was the whole idea of, increasing the tax base, opportunities for jobs. And requesting to have that incentive be able to be requested now well, when I say now, at 120 units. Because now they have 160 units. And so without any guarantee of completing the 344 units or phase two. So asking for more time to use it and with less deliverables, that was the benefit of the bargain for why you all, or why the council at the time gave the incentive.
Sounds like they don't have any intention of it.
They're not.
Are any of the, apartments occupied?
I think when I talked to him a couple weeks ago, it was 120, I think, out of the 160.
So are they planning on giving them?
At this point, they're kind of on pause right now. They're waiting to see how Terry rebounds and how the interest rates and all that go.
If we're going to consider this, there are some corrections that need to be made. On page 1, near the end, it says, whereas the city commission has duly considered this agreement. And that same word is on page 7 twice. We're a council, not a commission.
Yes, for 40 years. You're not doing anything. That's in the original agreement.
Exactly.
So it wasn't supposed to start until they finished the last unit, now they want it to start now. Is that what it boils down to?
They can finish it.
With no guarantee that they're gonna finish the rest of the units.
Tax rate is getting lower right now.
And that's the one benefit you would get is you're paying the incentive back at a lower tax rate. That's how they build the next phase at year 9. We only incentivize them to half tax rate for 9 years and 1 year of the full amount. If they do phase 9 in 10 years, make 344th unit, then it starts the clock of 10 years at the highest tax rate that they're getting incentivized on. So it's, I mean, it's a gamble. You're rolling the dice if they actually ever do the phase. Do it on.
There are some considerations if you all would like to continue and allow for them to start pulling from the incentive now. Because there is I believe, a great likelihood that they're not gonna continue when you basically take away your leverage when you allow for them to be able to get the incentive now, which is paying back a portion of their taxes. But if you were to consider that, some things, I guess, that you could consider is having some type of sunset clause regarding construction, like in phase 2, you know, 12 to 18 months. They may not be agreeable to that, but, you know, in reviewing this, I was trying to think of how can the city also safeguard the gamble that if it's really not going to add any more units to this property, what is the benefit for us? Because they will be owing the ad valorem taxes anyway for us, for the city to now give the incentive, except to give away money that could be towards the budget. But if there's some belief that just, you know, maybe in a year and a half, they'll get back to phase 2. And if they possibly do not complete it, we could have a clawback clause regarding having money returned or paid back. That can get really messy. I'm just saying that there are some other language we can add to it if the council, if you had a concern about wanting to push the leverage, which was for them to complete the 344 units as a benefit to justify for the public interest why you want them to have interest back. So, but if not, there's some other things again that they may be open to regarding like a discretion in the city if there was some budget shortfall that we can hold off on repaying, not repaying, but paying back a percentage of the ad valorem taxes that would be owed to them if you were to agree to this agreement. Cause right now, you know, it would be due whenever it's due, and there's no consideration as to the budget. 120 units is not even half of what the original agreement was, 344 units.
You said there's 160.
Well, the agreement said a minimum of 120, right?
So what would be agreeing to if we agree to this? Basically, what would we be agreeing to?
It would be much of the same, except instead of waiting for the project to be completed. At 344 units, they can now qualify to receive the incentive now, and they're asking for a longer period of time, 15 years versus 10 years. So less deliverables than what was originally contracted, but with more opportunity to receive something back for what they've already completed.
And they're not gonna buy gas from us.
None of their appliances, I understand, have gas. So in 2022, that was one of the things that's why those other two resolutions, not that's why, but I understand that was a part of the rescinding in 2022.
We weren't gonna make any money off of that anyway. Cause we're gonna have to sell it to that cost,
Right.
so.
Water utility adjustment is out of there is included in their rent.
Yes,
They pay one utility, or two utility bills. I think they have 2 meters, and then they charge their customer. I guess a flat rate.
the water is added in the rent. They only pay light bill.
We make pretty good pay.
Check with them. Check.
Not, definitely not as much as if they had had gas, that's for sure.
I guess I did.
I think it will change anything. You're happy to increase the time and things should remain 10 years. I'm just beginning to give you more chance to do that.
Any reason why they want to do this?
Yeah. I think because of that last item of sunset for non-performance, they don't have the 344 unit built by March 22nd, 2027. The whole bill goes away. So they're trying to capture some of it now, based on what they have built. And also, without this deal in place, they can't wrap up their financing to get it to a permanent finance and to even start trying to finance phase 2.
Mr. Beal, can we hear from you?
What's actually, they're wanting that center, which is us giving them something, they're giving away. Whatever, well, they want to get away.
Pretty much all of the property taxes they pay, the city property tax they pay. They'll be getting all that back for 10 years.
They're not gonna pay any city property taxes.
So pay it and we give it back. You can't just,
Well, I mean, it'll zero,
well, based on the new deal, it was based on a mill rate of 5.75, I think, or a little bit higher than that actually. So we'll make a few dollars, couple dollars.
I mean, difference of 5.7 to 5.8 mils.
Why are you looking at that?
That's the deal that is agreed to right now. So if we don't take any action,
What's it got to do with this?
I don't know what that is.
That's the contract.
That's the no.
There is no contract.
That's the deal they're proposing we agree to. That,
You're changing. It appears that you're changing an ordinance with 9 pieces of paper. You can't do that.
The ordinance.
we would have to rescind the ordinance.
You need to,
Yeah, we would have an ordinance to rescind the ordinance and then a contract with them. An incentive package never should even been made by ordinance anyway. An ordinance is how you get your ball into the code, not how you get an incentive package for one company.
I believe that was a mistake. It should have been a resolution, since if you weren't creating a code for this one particular business proposition. It can be cured by a resolution from my research of it, because it was an ordinance that was basically acting as a council given authority to proceed on the contract. So if you all were to agree with the authority to proceed, I believe it still can be resolved. Ensuring the authority by the council to proceed through a resolution.
So this is,
It's a, it's a
It's-
proposed
it's a-
contract, that's not the resolution.
right,
Yes, yeah, yes. Yes.
and how long is this ad valorem tax incentive agreement good for?
They're requesting 15 years, which is they're requesting 15 years, which is 5 years longer than the previous.
This says 10.
That's the old one. Yes, sir. And what I believe John was pointing to, that one will be over March 22nd, 2027. So they're trying to enter into another agreement. But it's up to you all to decide.
I wasn't here when all this garbage was created. Neither was I. Neither was I. And that's what we got in front of us. But we're trying to change. And I'm not willing to change that 10 to 15 years. I don't have. We're trying to change an ordinance with an agreement.
I believe Mr. Hart was just having you all look at the contract to see if you agree, so we can follow it up with.
Does this stuff, did this come from them or?
That's what they're asking.
That's what they're asking.
we had a vote to carry ordinance.
You do, that was the ordinance that
Which is allowed.
That- that was a broad ordinance that wasn't just based on prospect, it was an incentive for businesses. That was passed back in 2016.
But if they haven't completed and come through with everything that they agreed to the first time, what makes us think they're gonna do it the second time? And why should we change?
I think you lose your bargaining power to change it halfway and they haven't completed. Or have any guarantees in this contract that you can complete the 344 years. So it's up to you. I still haven't heard the incentive. I guess the only incentive, I guess, for the city would be in case they complete phase 2. Then there'll be a higher tax bracket, but there's nothing here to even, you take away the incentive for them to complete it to get the incentive if you give the incentive now.
Won't have anything to stand on. Do you need this decision tonight?
With all these papers you got. Surely somewhere in here. It's the agreement that was made
That's what resolution,
where
Yes.
It's in here.
that's,
ordinance 1011 is what's in effect right now.
yeah,
That's what the city agreed to and what they're supposed to be
all
following.
good.
And if they,
There's other ones behind it.
Exactly.
We also get a copy of the very first one.
It's also in there, I believe.
Sorry.
The two resolutions that were rescinded,
16.
This resolution 2016-20. Is that, what is that?
2016-20,
That was the first one.
But it.
Started out with this one, got replaced by this one, now there's a third one.
Somewhere there, it said it was amended by resolution 2017-06, which changed the terms of section 3. I read that somewhere, I wrote it down here.
in 2017-06 is in that packet as well.
Resolution 2016-20. Not really sure, but I think Russell had something to do with it falling through. So we started all over again. In 2022. When Cheryl Brown negotiated. No, today, I was being okay.
That's ordinance 1011.
This 2016. So,
If we'll loan these people $250,000, who's gonna be next in line?
That's right.
There's a lot of them.
all the loan stuff was taken out of the ordinance, so.
All that was rescinded.
And you're gonna give them 200,000.
In ordinance number 1011,
Then
they're all rescinded. Those two things are rescinded.
you're gonna give them the natural gas. And you're gonna give them 500,000 gallons of water and sewer. Who else would like that? How about 5,000 gallons of water and sewer?
All that was taken.
Well, the first time I read that, I said, somebody's lost their mind.
They're a bad deal.
everything was going good in here. We needed the housing. So. He gave them incentives to come,
But
and,
this is no good.
which one?
It's a resolution. A resolution just says, this is a good idea to do it.
2016-20.
Right.
2016-20.
What resolution?
Yeah.
Those were both rescinded by the ordinance.
Yeah.
The ordinance is the only thing in effect right now.
It's no clear.
If you take no action, I doubt there's any way they get the 344th unit done by March 22nd of 2027. So they'll get no incentives.
This still the same company that operates.
It's still, yep, his wife took over the business after he passed away. The salon guy,
Oh, there was management change.
yeah, he passed away, I don't know, 6 months ago.
I'm not.
Right when they was finishing up their last unit. He passed away right when they was finishing up their last units.
The couple that come before us.
What's that?
The gentleman
Tax incentive.
I don't know who
Yes.
it was.
Who?
The Grove Apartments prepared that. That is what, I'm not, that's not me asking.
No, who prepared it?
The Grove Apartments, I don't remember his name. No. It was a younger guy. That, I mean, if it was me asking for $100,000 over the next 10 years, I'd have probably been standing at that podium telling you what my plan is. So don't think that's me asking for that. That's what they're asking you to consider.
Yeah, it was London budget with that.
Yeah,
They're asking more time to deliver less and get more.
if they prepared to make a question about this neighbor.
We could take no action, or we could come back with a new plan, or wait till they want to be here and ask for themselves.
I don't think it's enough of a trade-off. I don't see how the city benefits at all. Even as, Councilmember Bryan has noted, all those things are now void or rescinded. There's been promises after promises of different things that have not worked. And I don't see why the city would benefit. Right now, they will receive the same amount of ad valorem taxes, and why return any portion of it if you did not achieve the goal in having the units and whatever other benefits that was noted as a public interest that would be served by them completing the project. As it states now, they're suggesting like, well, we want, the incentive without completing the project. And even if they may need it potentially for more funding, there's no guarantee what's been noted that they have to spend the money or complete the project in order to get the incentive.
This whole thing made.
Got this 2620. Where's the money coming from?
That's all been rescinded. None of that's in effect anymore. That's all been rescinded by the resolution, by the ordinance.
Guess your choice is to do something with it, not do anything with it, or table it. This will be the pleasure of the council.
Should come before us.
I was saying, I'm hoping with them coming in talking, but
So shall we table it till they can?
Till our.
yeah,
Okay. All right, we're gonna table it till, John, can you contact them and see if they can make it up this way?
Thing was,
There's plenty of states speaking to the region.
Stay till they're ready, I'm sorry.
no, I'm not changing the agreement. I would want to know why they would.
But we've rescinded some of this stuff. And I don't know what it's wound up as.
This was recently.
Ordinance 1011,
What?
or the ordinance 1011 is where it stands right now.
Okay.
And, John put up on the screen regarding the sunset for non-performance. Basically, they have until March 22nd, 2027 to, complete the agreement or it's terminated. So it is the prospect company is wanting this change that benefits them because they can get the incentive now without delivering. So without there being, at least in my opinion, enough information regarding an equitable trade-off to the city.
This doesn't seem like an equitable trade-off.
It's not.
We're never gonna get anywhere giving everything away. That's just fact. What everybody like to do, they like them to come up and talk to us, or just not take any action on this right now? address it at a later date if if it even comes back up.
I think we have to give them an answer of some kind. Request their changes at first.
So everyone here just take no action at this point, and if they want to come back in front of us, we can at least schedule a time of the meeting for us, put it on the agenda,
John, what do you reckon?
let them come explain it.
I would definitely think they should be here to kind of explain to y'all what their plan is and what they're going through. And if y'all don't accept that deal, I think you should consider extending that sunset date out some. They did go through 3 hurricanes, the mill closures.
So did we.
We just do
That's pretty sure.
That's one point.
That's not a valid argument.
So if I can slow them down.
Yes, I did. It is about the hard. We lost 2 major employers. Okay. I know you can't hear me. I want mine on the, I want it on record. I was there for a second, I still live at 2847 Pisco. Let me just ask you all this, okay? So maybe you need to renegotiate. Okay, so if it's be out of date, get that. But I mean, if it was your money, any of y'all's money, with everything that just happened with major paid employees or employers, do you think you'd really be thinking about building 174 more units? Maybe not, you know, something to build the one they got. I think there's room to negotiate, renegotiate. Say, okay, well, we can't do this, try and meet in the middle. You want people to come here. Y'all were excited when they were talking about helping with your tax base. How about have room for negotiation? So, no, we ain't gonna do this. I think that's more reasonable,
It's gonna be as them to come before us.
but I'm already hearing a lot of negativity saying, no, we're not gonna do this, not gonna do it. Have an open mind for renegotiation. Say, okay, we can't do this now because of what happened, and it's not their fault, it's not your fault. But have an open mind for renegotiation of the contract that apparently you have with them. Not saying you can't, you know, you're talking about everything is not your favor, it's all in their favor. Well, try to work it where it's both ways.
I know what they went through, I was here.
I'm just saying, these people, you know, I mean, you can't expect, you cannot, please. You cannot expect people to spend that kind of money and you can't fill them. Because who can really afford them? I talked to a guy a couple of weeks ago. He told me what he pays for 1 bedroom, it's $1,150 a month. Not many people compared to Florida to pay that, that's not cheap. So y'all please keep that in mind. I mean, if you want businesses to come here, if you want things like that to come here, you have to have an open mind and a possibility of renegotiating. Because if it was me and my money, everything just happened, I'd have it on hold too. They'd be sitting there waiting. And if we ran past the day like he's talking about, okay, then I'd have to come before y'all, say, hey, can we renegotiate something that's maybe a little more favorable to both parties? Y'all just have to keep an open mind. If you will, I'll ask one more thing, if y'all will. Can you please have your speakers a little closer to you for the records, everybody can hear clearly, because I found out the other day after watching one of the videos, when I did stand back there and speak, even though I could speak clearly, you could not hear. So if y'all aren't aware of that, that's an issue on these videos. Okay,
I got 3 more pieces of order. It ain't, still ain't quite what I wanted to.
Yeah.
I got some more stuff. for you.
my friend brought it to me, I said, they said, we know you were saying something,
It was
but
terrible.
they couldn't tell because I was way back there, because they were looking at me, I seen them looking at you, but.
There's no area mics, unless you're speaking right into that one or one of theirs. So I gotta get a couple area mics. I got stuff coming.
Yeah, I feel like you might get to negotiate, this thing's been redone 2 or 3 times, and it's hard to negotiate with people that aren't here.
Where do they live?
So, I mean,
Are they down south, period, or?
the land is what I'm seeing. I mean, that's where the office is in the land.
That's not a hospital, no, that's a crib.
Right.
I think that one of the biggest challenges is that the public interest is stated as the reason why you give tax incentives, is based on whatever that measurement was in that formula for those units.
Mhm.
And just as the city has had to adjust expectation of cash flow because of the hurricanes, the same that happens to private citizens, the same thing happens to corporations and businesses. And I know you all have dealt with the idea of eliminating suspending holding. But I just also want to note, this is not a cash grant, this is supposed to be a tax incentive based on those public interest things. So hopefully, if there is any type of consideration, that we look back at that as well as whatever trade-offs to help push the goal of having the project completed. And also maybe we can ask them to provide information regarding the I think Councilmember Landry, you asked about how many of the units are vacant or occupied, that we can have some information regarding that.
This whole thing's gonna be a little difficult to wrap up to finish up without the other party being here.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
So shall we table this until such time as they can make it here? Okay. We're gonna table it then until such time as they can actually come here, talk with us. So, whatever that time is.
I think John's gonna take it.
Alrighty. All right, so item 6E stands as table. All right. Agenda item 6D, you've got some to discuss and approve downtown beautification program for CRA. Council will take any action they necessary.
This is the old dream grant. I want to make it a little more straightforward, and easy to use, since we got the CRA going back again.
The Community Redevelopment Act. Just verifying.
Had two main sections to it, up to 5,000 per property for just a standard facade improvement. That'd be 100% reimbursement for labor and material purchase from a business within Taylor County, 50% outside of Taylor County. And then a little bit smaller, just a signage and awning micro grant. Up to 3,000 per business location, same thing. 100% reimbursement in Taylor County, 50% not in Taylor County. I did a minimum project of 1,000 for the bigger grant, because I didn't want to take a lot of our time with a receipt for paint or something like that. I wanted it to be legitimate. Make the facade look nice, and I think, yeah, 500 for the micro grant.
I think this is a good thing. At one point, we included businesses on Highway 19.
That wouldn't qualify for the CRA fund. It had to be in the CRA area.
Grant.
The UCRA fund would have to be within the downtown business district.
What was the name of that? When I thought it was a training grant.
Oh.
Yeah, this is on 19.
Yeah, but they had stated that you could have both of them going at the same exact time. Like if we had it here on uptown, we weren't able to have it open on 19 at the same exact time.
They
Until the fund is ran out.
shouldn't have been using CRA funds outside of the CRA area.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
It was a
That
grant,
was
but I can't remember what type of.
Dream
Yeah,
grant.
but I can't remember, but I was there for CRA.
And there was probably three.
Just dream grant stands for downtown revitalization of economic appearance.
Okay.
This was during the time, Danny, I remember when they had everyone planning those,
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. called.
Painted up 19.
Yeah, on 19.
They had to plant like
Yeah.
shrubbery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I can't
don't
remember what the
remember
name of that
that. I
grant
don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's this one.
Cause I think only
Shelley,
one
do they
person.
got a
was-
single meter out there or individuals to each apartment or?
The apartments. It's got two main meters.
2 meters?
Talking about back to the Grover apartments? Yes,
How many water?
two water meters.
2 water, 2 gas?
No gas.
Yeah,
2 water meters, no gas meters.
No gas at all.
Anyway, so what, was that all the changes you made in the Dream Grant?
I rewrote the entire thing to what it was before. Yeah, it used to be just a little one pager.
And more detailed.
Yes, ma'am, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion was that, do I have a second?
Just application for the grant.
I'll put that in their packet too.
It skirts the site extent.
I think we're gonna manage it in-house unless it gets too much work for us.
The application's on kind of near the end,
Yeah,
and then this is just like instructions for what people.
okay, but I'm saying, we haven't applied for it yet.
Y'all haven't approved,
This is, okay,
y'all have to
Yes,
approve the
you do.
program, right? I mean, we still have the other Dream Grant in effect. This one's just a little more detailed and what it can be used for and everything. The other one is pretty basic. You walk into City Hall with your receipt for cans of paint. Got reimbursed, I think, 50%.
How often is one business able to qualify for this? Is multiple times or is it a set limit?
Said once per fiscal year.
Before, it would be in the old Dream Grant, as many as they wanted, and there wasn't a minimum project, so people were only, like, maybe they only painted outside and they were getting reimbursements, but he's made it to where there's a minimum of 1,000 for the main projects and then 500 for the micro grant. I think that will eliminate a lot of
I think we'll get legitimate projects. done.
Yeah. things that actually.
I think, yeah, that's better.
Subside.
Yeah, because I know for years we had the same ones coming and,
Yeah.
and it wasn't fair to the other ones, because by the time they got business started, there was no funds there because the same person was immediately come to get it. So,
Right.
yeah, that's good, John.
I made a motion.
Oh, second.
A second.
Councilman Bronze,
Yeah,
Councilman Hanson,
Yes.
Councilman Woodcock,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes.
Mayor Kitchen.
Yes. Agenda item 6E, council to discuss adopting the local mitigation strategy plan. Council will take any action deemed necessary.
Y'all get that? I don't see it in my Dropbox. Run back next meeting.
Okay. So we'll table this item. Agenda item 6F, council to consider approval of an invoice for CRA funds in the amount of $26,117.77. The council will take any action deemed necessary.
So this is just administrative. Y'all are giving us permission to move it from the general fund where we get our taxes in. And that's what the CRA funds, their taxes, and we move it into the CRA. The county is also remitting their portion. I sent their invoice a couple weeks ago.
Have a motion?
But we haven't received that money yet,
From
right?
the county? No, man. They said they have to go through the approval and she said it's on the list.
Oh, wait. In mail.
Yeah. It'll be coming.
to approve.
Motion and a second. Landry, motion, Ms. Hampton, second.
Councilor Bruns, Councilor Hampton,
Yes.
Councilor Woodfall,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Agenda item 6G, council to discuss land purchase for new well, the council will take any action deemed necessary. This plantation.
Yes.
Okay.
We've got a lot of the results back, but not all of them yet. Just wanted to keep y'all aware. Purchase of the land is gonna have to be done by ordinance, so I wanna get it, if we do move forward with purchasing it, we're gonna have to do it the first and second meeting of May, most likely. I think Andrew looked over the results that we have.
So far, all of the sampling results that we have point towards what we expected. There is high iron in the raw water, but we expect that at Perry, that can be treated out without a problem. But as far as the other contaminants, they were all looking to be in pretty good shape. We don't know the answer about the flow yet for how many gallons we can pump out of that well, but that's one of the answers we're still waiting on.
There was one X on the thing, is that the iron or is it something else?
If you read through the results, there's Q, and I for the qualifiers. If you read down them, you get to the one that has iron on the left side of the column. In the center, it shows how much it actually sampled at. And the first row of numbers for MCL stand for maximum contaminant level. The iron was just over 2.5 times the MCL. The MCL is fairly low, but iron is one of the easiest contaminants to sample out for filtration and whatnot.
That satisfy you
So far,
so far? What else has got to be done?
we need to know the flow rating of that well. I don't know how many thousand gallons we can pump out of that well per day. Hell, I know those numbers were still kind of in the air, but the preliminary based off of the contaminant levels are all looking very good.
When will you get those results?
You know, engineering.
Within another week or two, I would hope.
What about PFAS? I guess a 0.9.
PFAS is marked, but it doesn't have a maximum contaminant level yet. That is still a yet to be established number for DEP and EPA. So on the left side column, if there's not a number for the MCL where it has NA, not applicable, it's because there hasn't been a determined level yet. Until those come down from the state level, we're not gonna know what those numbers are. On PFAS, everybody in the state is probably gonna be in the same bucket. It's gonna be bad, I think, but that's gonna hit everybody for same.
No, we just don't know the flow rate yet.
There's a couple other samples, but the flow rate is the most important one of them.
I think there's one or two more tests they're still waiting on. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what they are.
The only reason I believe it will not close at this point.
No.
What are we up under a timeline? Is that what it is?
Yeah, June 1st, we have to purchase it by, or we lose the contract and the deposit, I guess.
It was 2,000.
Plus what we put into it with all the testing.
Yes,
Yeah.
closer to 60,000 probably.
So it has to be closed by June 1st.
Right?
First, June 15th.
Well, June 1st. First one, deposit is June
It's the
1st.
first of, it would be right there, June.
Do we have enough time, you think, to get the flow rate back?
We still have all of May. It's gonna take 2 meetings to approve it. That's gotta be done with ordinance. I think we're in good shape. Even if we do the first reading, if something bad, it'll come back after that, still just don't read it again.
Yeah. Keep the calendar in front of me. You've got a meeting on the 28th. They will have something by then, that's 2 weeks, obviously.
Thanks, so.
Yeah. One we just plan on doing one reading on the 28th and the other reading on the May 12th.
Did we get done?
Is that agreeable?
Yes, I mean, after the way. Make sure. It doesn't hurt to start the process, you can always cancel it up here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, if we get in a real bind, we can just do it better than May. I mean, we'll still get it done in time, just gonna be close. But, all right, let's get 28th and the 12th, May 12th. Everybody, we're okay with that? Very good. Then down to 6A, capital discuss adjusting utility bill dates due, and council may take any action if necessary. That came from me. That's a big approach me because they, some people still get, they want their bills mailed. You figure the mailing time from when the city mails them, to the time they get them. They go on the, bill, yeah, the bank's bill pay system entered in, and the bank mails a paper check. So that takes time, and a lot of times by the time they get back, it's past the 15th. Right. So we were talking about just extending it, just, you know, what, 5 days, 4 days,
I would think like the 20th.
15th to the 20th for a new day,
No.
yeah, without penalty.
And take over. The extension fees. We won't be able to charge these people.
Anyway, I was just putting it out there for
So
discussion.
we're changing that to the 20th. What then would be the credit pay,
That changes every month.
everything would change, right?
Yeah, it would still be at the end of the month. They could probably just be pushed back a few days, but they always do it a different day every month because they don't do it on Mondays or Fridays. So it might be, like, even if they say they're always gonna do it 5 days after the cutoff.
22nd is now the cutoff day.
Right, but if the 22nd is a Monday, we always push it to 23rd.
Okay. Okay. So the 20th would be the date. Then late fees began on the 21st. And how many days out do you have from there? If we're cut up. Should take it to the end of the month.
I think the ordinance says 5
Yeah.
business days.
I'm pretty sure that's what ordinance is, so we can do it 5 business days or any day after.
Change the ordinance.
Can't
But
get cut
we-
off at the
yeah.
beginning of the month following. We can't do it any day from the 1st to the 10th or so because the meter readers will be running. That means I'm down 2 men in my crew to do the turn off. So the turn off always needs to be before the end of the month so that we have enough crew to staff it.
You go with 5 business days now.
Yes.
The ordinance also says 10 days right now currently, so I'm gonna bring a new ordinance to clean that up.
Like to do at 10 days.
Bill's due in 10 days. We're not following it right now.
But it's 10 business days. If you don't count, yeah. I think
That might be what it means, if you don't want to send date.
We're gonna change it to the 20th.
20th or the following.
I work, could y'all check with the banks, see if, I know when I do the Duke Energy bill, it automatically comes out electronically. I don't know if we can do that, I don't know if it's.
I'm just not sure if all banks would offer that, and Duke is a lot bigger than us, so I'm thinking that's probably, but I'll check with them. But there is always the option, they can go online, they can do bank draft through us, which doesn't charge a fee. You know, we would pull it, basically like auto pay out of their account on the 10th of every month. Or they can go online and pay it with a credit card or an e-check. And of course, coming in person.
But there's that fees, right? Do it using a credit card.
The
using
each check has a
yes.
fee and having a credit card has a fee, but the bank draft does
How's the bank draft for it? Auto draft or is that something they treat?
not really pay. We pull
Yep.
on like the 10th of the month. So
Yeah.
they give us their bank information and we pull it. Versus
Yeah,
them going,
I personally try to stay clear of auto drafts.
yeah,
Cause mistakes get made on the bill and the money's gone and it happens that quick and it doesn't come back that quick.
yeah.
So, I mean, y'all remember the $100,000 gas bills?
Yes.
That would have been auto drafted. Just saying.
Not out of my account.
Mine would have been a super negative red. Yeah.
It's just an option. Some people do like it, but most. The auto pay, not as many people are on auto pay, they just pay it after they get their bill.
Yeah, I'm saying a lot of people, they just have different ways of doing things for their own personal reasons. And
But I will check and see if there's any way banks could do it faster, cause I mean, if they, or even if they just ACH'd it to us instead of sending a physical check. But I'm not sure how that would work with every bank, you know, like local banks, we might talk to about it, but if it's not local banks, I'm not sure.
well, they were Capital City, I think, if I look at Duke Energy, it's an ACH, it happens, the next day it's gone. But the city of Perry, they send a physical paper check.
Right.
Or it depends on the vendor, ain't what anything, or what kind of agreements the vendors, banks have. Like I said, Duke Energy is a lot bigger, so. That might be why they have deals set up with them, they make so much money until they do may not.
Yeah,
Have the changes that we've made helped with the traffic at the window?
what
Is
changes do
it-
you mean?
Well, there were times of the month where it was really backed up.
Yeah, I mean, there's always times where they are busy, but we do have a third computer at the window now, so sometimes when it gets really busy, we have an extra person working at the window that's normally in the back or either
Okay.
upstairs.
That was one of the goals, so that's what
Yeah.
I was asking.
For people using electronic. Things more.
Yeah,
we have
I mean, I would say a lot of people go online and pay.
So, would the 20th work?
As long as. I'll keep on passing the first of the month, I don't see an issue.
But you have to keep in consideration too, if the bank mails the check, it can't be due on the 20th. They're gonna have to keep it backed up a little bit to allot that time
Yeah.
of it getting here.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't solve the issue for, but it might solve the issue of them getting their bill
Right.
and then remitting it and then getting to us before the due date.
Everybody knows your bill's due at a certain time every month, just like every other bill they got.
Sure.
They shouldn't have to have a bill in their hand and know, hey, I got to pay my water bill.
That the bank actually mails a physical check to us. A
Right.
lot of people laugh because a lot of, they don't realize they actually mail us a check. So
Yeah.
that's where a lot of confusion with that too.
Yeah, it gets printed, mailed, it's back into the 10-day trip, you know, you get a 10-day trip one way and a 10-day trip the other way.
Right.
We got late, that was about the time it gets to see.
Is that what you said, automatic trip?
No, ma'am, that's bill pay.
Do that.
That's bill pay through their bank, so they can get online, and they do bill pay. And they set it for a day, and the bank will print a check and mail it to us. That's the bill pay, that's where the,
When the bank offer them automatic traps.
and they might, I don't know, but that's just what they choose to do through bill pay, through their app, how that the bill pay works.
Did you keep keep the due date, just not charge for late until after the 20th?
Not really, because you have to mail second notices. Yeah, and then you have to, when you do second notices, you have to add the late fee. Then, I guess unless you waited 5 extra days to do the late notices, but then you're still in the same boat. Yeah.
Let's try it 20 days, see how it works out. We can always change it.
With that, we need to change it about working.
I'll bring it on this back.
So everybody go, okay, we're trying the 20, and see if it works. I mean, if it doesn't work, we change it back.
And then the 27th will become cutoff date.
That won't be feasible for a lot of the month.
It would actually be the
That's what I'm
28th for the
saying.
May.
That's what I'm saying.
The May 28th would actually be cut off for next month. If we changed it for next month, it would be the 28th.
Or it's gonna take a while,
But
2
then
weeks, so. And
You just, that's not feasible.
That wouldn't be feasible most months, because if the 28th or 27th fell on a Friday or a Saturday, we can't do the cutoff of the following week, and that puts us in the next month. So that's not feasible.
you talking about 20th isn't feasible?
I got to the May, that's the 20th. It makes it a lot of sense.
How does everybody else gives 3 weeks? Every other bill I have, we got 3 weeks, we got a 3-week due date before it's considered late.
Duke Energy can cut you off from a computer somewhere.
Yeah, they just-
We have to
they just
physically
let
go
you
to the
leave it
property
late.
and turn it off by hand.
So you want to try the 20th or not try the 20th?
We'll try.
And make it hard.
We have a way we can do it.
We got
There is a way we can do it. Little unorthodox, but it'll work.
So I'm going to put him in that situation.
He won't be.
Me and John have discussed a route to deal with it.
Is everybody okay with trying it or?
They will try to join him. We can always go back. Forward, or upside down, wherever we can go.
We have a second on that?
Second.
Councilor Bryan. Councilor Hampton,
Yes.
Councilor Woodball,
Yes.
Councilor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes.
Since we're not even following our current ordinance now, I'm just gonna go ahead and start the 20th for this month. And get it cleaned up the next 2 meetings.
You got time to do it.
No, never mind.
We're good to start there if you can.
Next month.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, maybe some things can come out of it we didn't think of.
I'm sure it was.
So that's, yeah. We're at agenda item 6I, council to discuss planning and zoning board. Council will take any action deemed necessary. So according to the,
And you know, there's a member with 4 attendants. The board asked for y'all to consider removing that seat, find somebody else.
Donna Perez was sent a letter in September of 25. Out of 18 meetings, she had been absent from 12. When she received the letter, they didn't have a meeting in January. She didn't come in February. Wait, she's getting the wrong. She came in October. She sent a letter in September. She came in October, but in December, she was not there December. They had no meeting in January. She was not present February. She was present in March, and was not present in April. So the board is questioning, they're saying that shouldn't she be removed and find another member?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, and so, so now she, out of 24 meetings, she's only attended 7,
Did she give a reason? Or-
not that I'm aware of.
Does she know about this?
She was sent a letter in September.
I mean, does she know
She's
about
been to
this?
one
Does she
meeting.
know about this?
I'm not sure. She gets the packets every month. She gets paid every month. But she has not, since September, she's been to one meeting. So the planning and zoning board has, and per LDR, if you're out 3 meetings, the council, you all can remove them and advertise for another position, or, you know, try to get someone else.
Is it-
We need a motion on that. Or we need a motion on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Councilmember Bryan. Councilmember Hanson.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodball.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Kitchen.
Yes. Bad as I hate it.
Yeah, we'll make sure that she's mailed a letter, I mean, but.
So busy.
That's kind of what should have been. All right.
She was notified.
And then in September. And she's been to one meeting since September, they said, and the board is the one that's asking about it, the planning and zoning board.
I have a hard time getting a quorum sometimes, I guess. I know that,
Yes, it can be a challenge.
yeah. All right, agenda item 6J, approval of minutes for the March 24th regular session.
Motion to approve.
A second,
Councilmember Bryan. Councilmember Hanson.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodball.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Kitchen.
yes. Ellen? Your turn.
I was asked to ask y'all to be at the FDP GP permit meeting on 4/23, 4 to 7 at Forest Capitol Hall.
They did advertise today that there's not any action that's gonna be taken. It's just gonna be discussion.
What meeting is it?
About the GP permitting.
Oh.
with- We have an issue with Perry Apartments not paying their water bill. They have 2 accounts with us. One of them's 9,000 past due. No valid payment since July of 2025. The other one's gonna be about 6,000 past due when it's the last payment returns again. They haven't paid since 7/10 of 2025. We tried to contact
The
them.
apartment behind Mama's.
Behind Mama's.
Oh, I know that, but why have you let them with this?
It was on the do not cut off list for the apartment complex.
We've been trying to contact them, but we can't get a hold of anyone.
Do y'all know if the water is added into the land?
Yes,
Yes.
they pay, yeah, the landlords aren't paying. The tenants, I'm assuming, are
I'm
paying.
pretty sure they
landlords,
are,
Right.
but that's not fair.
And that's
to
why
them.
we've been hesitant to do.
We don't want to cut them.
I'm not
off.
asking for it to be cut off.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's why we're bringing it to them.
We might have to, we gotta do something.
So recently, we had the code enforcement officer go out there and hand deliver it to the on-site manager. She took it, and they had until April 10th to pay with certified funds. They have not done that. So yesterday, we have contacted them multiple times. We had someone that talked to the owner. They confirmed that they were the owner. And when they explained the situation and that they were at risk of being disconnected, they abruptly ended the call, basically. And, I've tried to contact the local office. I've tried to contact the landlord. We've left multiple voicemails. We've emailed them. They won't answer us. And I talked to, the Florida Department of Ag and Community Consumer Services to see if they could help, and they can't. They can only help tenants. So if we do cut the water off, the tenants can complain to them,
Mhm.
and then something could be done to the landlord. And I also talked to DVPR and they can't do anything either.
The health department, nothing.
I haven't talked to the health department, but from what they were telling me, our only recourse really is to shut them off. What we were thinking was put notices on the doors for the
Tenants.
to tell them that in a week, the water's gonna be cut off if their landlord doesn't pay. And then if we have to, just cut off the water during the day and then turn it off back on at night. Because we don't know how else to get their attention for the landlord.
That's a serious situation.
It is, and that's why we've been hesitant to cut them off, because it's not their fault.
No.
So you got two water meters, the whole facility.
And they're paying their rent.
But their landlord's not even open up their
Yeah.
water. But if we do end up having to cut their water off, or, they can call and we can direct them who to call to complain. And they can, the state can help them with their rights as tenants.
Yeah.
But we can't file a complaint for them, is what they said.
But they pay their work.
The landlord just.
Yeah.
Well, they pay through the rent.
And so that's what they would tell the state.
That's terrible. I hate it because in Georgia, the landlord could get arrested, but it would be a civil violation to the tenants who are paying for their rent with water and the water is not being taken. They can sue and get those type of relief, but it's still not criminal. It sounds like a criminal offense to me, to take the money, and not, it sounds like a different type of investment or misuse of funds, but, this is my first time hearing it, so I didn't know about it, to research it, that's terrible.
It is.
To be charged and still not. That definitely could.
So when y'all looking at putting those letters on the door?
If y'all approved it, we were thinking to do it tomorrow and within the
Yeah,
next
because
couple
they
of
need
days.
to be aware.
And then obviously give a week,
Mhm.
and then, like I said, only cut it off during the day. So that's, if we end up having to cut it off,
It's just gonna get worse if we don't do something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping if we did have to cut it off, that would get their attention.
Don, you want to say something?
Yeah, y'all, I used to live in that apartment complex some years ago. I was there for about 16 years. A lot of that used to be, occupied by a lot of elderly people that had a lot of health issues. It may be worth your time to stop by and talk to the manager on site. See how bad they can get affected. I don't think y'all want any deaths on your hands because of something like that. Just a forward thought. If there's any way
We
they can
did
get that
send a code
information.
enforcement officer by there,
You know,
And he
I
talked
mean, for
about-
that specific information.
yeah. I mean,
So
we
thanks, so
sent
the
him
manager
back.
can talk to them and say, hey, this may be, you may need to look at something different.
The manager lives on site, she's gonna have her water cut off too.
Yeah. I'm saying, if she knows she's got elderly people that really need to shift somewhere else, they may need to look at that before they become affected, then you got a whole different ball game to deal with.
Thank you.
And
Sure, but we
to me, it's a plenty.
Sure, we can get it straightened out. They're not cutting off for we.
I'm just saying. You don't want to be
I'll
last
take the
minute.
chip.
Stop it, move at the last minute.
That'll clear.
That'll clear.
That will clear.
To me, we're punishing the wrong people. We understand.
Yeah, I don't disagree, we just don't know where else.
You just like, which more do we wait?
At this point, we have to make a decision because if somebody else decides they don't want to pay their water bill because they're not gonna get affected by it, then what are we gonna do to them? We have to do something. Giving them a week to make sure that they pay this on time is about the only option we have. It's the only leverage we really have left on it. We've already tried the option of visiting the property. We've already tried to contact the property owner. They're refusing to make any contact with us.
And how long has this been going on, Jim?
July.
Well, on one of their accounts, they made a payment in November that cleared. On the other account, they haven't made a payment since July.
And they're behind how much?
Technically $9,000, but I expect their other payment to get returned, because it was a check, it wasn't by certified funds like, and they've been getting returned. Better not. I expect to know within a day or two if it's returned.
Carly, how much was the last check that you expected to get returned?
$5,668.36.
How much was the last one that was returned? About the same?
About, 1 second, I can tell you. 41.50.21. It's basically every month, they're just paying what they owe and then it gets returned.
Mr. Going, so what's their monthly, water bill currently going towards $5,000?
No, it's normally closer to like 1,000, it's just that 1,000 on one,
Okay.
and then 800 to 1,000 on another. It's just that they've been accumulating month after month.
And return checks.
You're getting two accounts, or just one?
Two.
There's two accounts, but they're not both 8,000, they're combined eight.
No, they're both 8,800.
They're both 800 to 1,000 each, so you're looking at 1,800 per month is what we're saying.
We've never had this issue before that I'm aware of.
I guess, but, maybe if they put, put the notice of the A department gets enough complaints and they start pushing the people, maybe they'll come up with money.
Yeah.
It's the best we can hope for at this point.
If they're paying their rent, where is the money going?
Yeah. I know, I was surprised, I mean, I really thought when we sent the code enforcement officer out there and they signed for the letter that John sent, that, yeah, that they would pay.
The tenants probably have no idea that every
They don't.
quarter bill they get paid.
Well, if
They don't.
Well,
What solution, you make it 2 weeks instead of 1 week, you have a meeting in 2 weeks, so you have a choice to revisit it.
Go ahead, post the notices though, so they can.
Yes, post the notices, we'll give 2 weeks instead of one, and you're meeting here in 2 weeks, so you'll know in 2 weeks whether or not they paid it. You
Anything
make a
change?
decision then, whether or not they cut it off the next day.
Give them 2 weeks, not to work to live Tuesday. All three.
Yeah. That would-
in 2 weeks' time, just so they'll just throw the wind and.
It also gives the tenants more time to contact the state.
Yes.
that is true. And I'll put that on the notice that they can contact the state
And
That
the
is
health
issue.
department.
and the health department. Thank you.
We attended that, good idea here. We agenda for the next meeting.
I think addresses Thomas's concerns as well. Addresses Thomas's concerns as well. Give them 2 weeks to make other arrangements.
Yes.
Right. Hating situations. Anyway, John, you got anything there? Oh, do you have anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Darla. Anything? Dan? Andrew? Already. Any else? All right, Ms. Hampton?
It's how we do it. I do have one thing, is responding to the article that was in the newspaper. I would put the banner this year that would have beautified Highway 19 corridor, the gateway into the city of Perry to rest. And to correct all of the untrue information I heard or read. The banners at no point would have cost the city $15,000. Nor would it have cost the city $30,000. The quotes John and I received from, there are 6 banners, was at the cost of $6,745. And the brackets would have been a total of $630, which would have been a total of $7,375. No one knows the actual cost because there are no RFQs. Nor do we know who would have received the award for the banners. If we move forward with the project. Okay, now let's start. Have you found a place for the banners? 19, where this would be.
No, street signs. It's a long drawn out process with FDOT.
Yeah.
I didn't know how cumbersome it's gonna be. Got, what they call it? Community aesthetic,
It's called something.
it look like Chinese.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but we still have to go through that process. That's how we were able to put the banners on 19 the first time. But anyway, I want to ask you to add historic downtown Perry with an arrow saying left at next line that'll take us to historic downtown Perry. That's the reason for putting these closer into town. Yep. I'm very hard his head.
That's why
Right.
straight, that's just why.
Yeah. Not the 19. Is there? You have to change it for the one coming. So. Yeah.
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 Going the other way.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you for saying it.
Well,
The Landry.
I just wanna say things are looking so much better, just everything looks really good, we've got a lot of pruning going on in our neighborhood, but, everything is looking so much better, I appreciate all the words. All the hard work.
Thank you.
I agree. It's looking kind of better.
We'll start growing. Unfortunately.
That's all.
Daniel, was there anything that we could ever do about how dark it is in that subdivision on the core?
I did have the police department, as a matter of fact, the other night ride through,
Yeah, there was.
and he said on that, like, there is a couple of areas on both of those, but the street lights, when I measured them, there's a couple that are like 400 feet apart. I think part of the problem is the trees and all, the limbs and stuff that's hanging, or well, it's just all the oak trees.
Yeah.
I think that blocks some of the lights too. I mean, I'm not sure, I haven't, I had them ride just to make sure there were no bulbs out. But I have went and looked at where each pole is, and I think on LaCour, there was a couple that was like 400 feet apart. I didn't think to bring that info.
Okay.
I forgot, but, our policy for streetlights is 300 feet. So, I mean, I guess that would be, and then the other issue would be if you all decided to add extra lights, we would also have to get with Duke Energy, because just because there's a pole there, don't mean they can add a light to it. That's the other issue.
But
It might help some, but, I have emailed them about adding brighter lights. But I do know, like on LaCour and on Folsom, those oak trees are just, I mean, which they're gorgeous, but they do block some of the light. They're not blocking the light itself, but they're blocking just, you know, from it shining, I guess, further.
I know they said they would put larger bulbs.
Right, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And, if you're sending the ethics training website, it's like, where you do it.
I'd like for her attorney to take this information on this apartment and come back and tell us what the package is. And then we'll put it in a contract.
Regarding Prospect, the earlier apartment complex information, the Prospect apartment,
Yeah.
the earlier.
Thank you, everybody, for your hard work.